Have you ever come across the remarkable story of Ronald Read? His tale is the stuff of modern legends. A simple janitor and gas station attendant from Vermont, Read's life didn't revolve around posh estates or flashy cars. Yet when he passed away, he left a staggering fortune of $8 million, taking everyone by surprise. This was no lottery win, nor was it a hidden inheritance from a distant royal ancestor. Ronald Read's wealth came from his unassuming yet disciplined approach to money. Over time, he employed simple principles of money management, investing wisely, and living frugally. What his life illustrates is that you don't need a six-figure salary to amass wealth, nor do you need degrees from Ivy League institutions or a corner office in a skyscraper. Wealth accumulation, at its heart, is less about how much you earn and more about how effectively you manage what you do earn. This sentiment is perfectly encapsulated by Morgan Housel, who once said, "Financial success isn't a mere mathematical exercise. It's deeply intertwined with human behavior. Our relationship with money, our discipline, our patience, and our choices play a significant role in determining our financial destiny. With the right perspective, even modest incomes can lead to substantial wealth over time. It's about consistency, making informed choices, and most importantly, understanding that every penny counts." Now, are you ready to discover the principles that can shape your financial future? We'll unravel 18 powerful lessons from Morgan Housel's groundbreaking book. Lessons that will challenge your beliefs, make you reflect, and perhaps even redefine your relationship with money. Let's dive in. Chapter 1. No one's crazy. People have different views about money. People are fascinating. We all make decisions, especially about money, based on our experiences, backgrounds, and what we've learned throughout our lives. What might seem like a bizarre choice to one person can make total sense to another. This is because we're all shaped by different life events, which influence our views on money. Imagine two people. One grew up during a time of financial crisis where money was tight, while the other was raised during an economic boom. The first person might be very careful with spending, preferring to save every penny. The second person might feel confident investing in stocks or buying luxury items. Neither is crazy, they're just influenced by their pasts. This doesn't mean that every financial decision we make is the right one. But it does mean that there's often a deep personal reason behind our choices. For example, someone might refuse to invest in the stock market because their parents lost everything in a market crash. Or a person might buy a flashy car not just because they like it, but because it's a symbol of success they've longed for. When it comes to money, everyone has a story. And those stories play a big role in our decisions. So the next time you see someone make a financial move that seems strange to you, remember? They're not crazy. They're just looking at the world through a different lens, shaped by their unique experiences. The key takeaway? Be understanding. Before judging someone's financial choices, try to understand their background, their fears, and their dreams. It's not just about dollars and cents. It's about life stories, hopes, and traumas. Everyone's financial journey is a deeply personal one, and understanding that can lead to more compassion and fewer quick judgments. Chapter 2. Luck and Risk. Have you ever thought about why some people achieve immense success while others, despite working just as hard, do not? It's not always about sheer determination and talent. Many times it's about being at the right place, at the right time, the influence of luck and risk. Picture this. Our lives are like a massive puzzle, where we're just one piece among billions with countless unpredictable elements. Let's delve into the tale of Serena Williams, the renowned tennis player. Her exceptional talent, dedication, and relentless training are undeniable. Yet a lesser-known fact is that she was introduced to tennis at a young age by her father in Compton, a place not famous for producing tennis stars. A touch of luck, one might say. On the flip side, consider the story of countless child prodigies in various sports who, despite their early promise, faced injuries or other setbacks, the unforeseen risks that lurked in their paths. The trajectories of Serena and these prodigies are marked by the dual forces of serendipity and hazard. So when we study the tales of wildly successful people, we often find ourselves entangled in a web of questions. What's the result of hard work? What's pure luck? And where does risk factor in? Instead of saying, let's copy the strategies of this billionaire or avoid the mistakes of that business person, we should be looking at broader trends. Zeroing in on specific individuals can mislead us because extreme outcomes often involve a good dose of luck, which is unpredictable. For example, trying to mirror the success of a tech visionary like Elon Musk can be daunting. His groundbreaking ventures, while rooted in innovation, also seem to carry a hint of cosmic favor. However, a wider observation, such as noting that persistence often leads to eventual success, is a more tangible and universal lesson. In short, recognizing the interplay of luck and risk in our stories paves the way for two key virtues: humility and empathy. When the winds favor you, remember you're not solely the captain, and during storms, understand that not all is within your compass. At times, life simply unfolds in its mysterious ways. Chapter 3. Never enough. People often think, if I just had a little more, I'd be happier. This thought is especially strong when it comes to money. But sometimes, wanting more can make us forget and undervalue what we already have. Think of life like a playground seesaw. One side has money, and the other has wants. Funny thing is, when we get more money, our wants often grow too. Sometimes we don't even realize when we've reached our dreams because we keep thinking about getting even more. Let's talk about Rajat Gupta and Bernie Madoff to understand this better. Gupta was super successful, a big deal at a company called McKinsey. Madoff was like a superstar in the money world, but even they wanted more. Gupta made some bad choices about sharing secret info. Madoff tricked a lot of people with fake money promises. Their need for more didn't just hurt their bank accounts. It hurt their lives and other people's trust in them. Wanting more doesn't just risk our money. It can make us lose friends, feel stressed, and miss out on enjoying today. It's great to have big dreams, but it's also important to be happy with what we have now. How can we find a good balance? Every once in a while, we should stop and think, what is enough for me? This way we know when to be happy with what we have and can enjoy it. In the end, being rich isn't just about how much money you have. It's about being happy, thankful, and making things better for you and others. True wealth is feeling good with what you have, not always wanting more. Chapter 4. Confounding compounding. You might have heard the phrase, it takes money to make money. This concept comes alive through the magic of compounding. Compounding might sound like a fancy word, but it's a simple idea with astonishing results. Imagine you put some money into a bank account, and the bank gives you interest on it. Next year, they don't just give you interest on your original money, but on the interest you earned last year too. So, each year your money grows not just by adding more to it, but because of the interest earned on the interest. It's like a snowball rolling down a hill, getting bigger and bigger, not just because of its own size, but because it keeps picking up more snow. Here's a fun example. If you had just 1 penny and you could double it every day by the end of the month, you wouldn't just have a few cents or even a few dollars. You'd have millions. That's the power of compounding. For investments, this means that the earlier you start and the longer you let your money grow without touching it, the bigger that money snowball becomes. It's why many financial experts say that time is one of the most powerful factors in growing wealth. Even if you start with a small amount, given enough time, it can turn into a fortune. However, there's a flip side to compounding. It works the same way with debts. If you owe money and you're paying interest, that interest can compound, making your debt grow faster and faster. It's why it's so important to understand how compounding works, whether you're saving, investing, or borrowing. In a nutshell, compounding is like a superpower for money. It can work wonders for you if you're patient and give it time. But it can also be a villain if you're on the wrong side of it, like with high-interest debt. The key is to make compounding your ally and harness its power for your financial benefit. Chapter 5. Getting wealthy versus staying wealthy. While many people dream of becoming wealthy, maintaining that wealth can be a different challenge altogether. The paths to getting wealthy and staying wealthy are not the same, and it's crucial to understand the differences. Think of it like climbing a mountain. The journey up might require risk-taking, stamina, and a bit of daring. That's akin to getting wealthy, where innovation, strategic risks, and sometimes a bit of luck can lead to significant rewards. However, once you're at the top of the mountain, the task switches to staying there without falling off. Here, caution, balance, and careful navigation become more important. Similarly, staying wealthy often involves preserving assets, avoiding big risks, and ensuring stability. A great example to illustrate this is lottery winners. Many who win large sums quickly find themselves back where they started, or even in worse financial shape after just a few years. They became wealthy overnight, but struggled with the principles of staying wealthy, like managing their money wisely, avoiding bad investments, or resisting extravagant spending. Another example is of businesses. Companies that make it big with a breakthrough product might see tremendous initial growth. However, sustaining that success requires adaptability, understanding market changes, and sometimes being conservative in financial decisions. The skills and mindset that help one amass wealth, aggression, hustle, risk-taking, can sometimes be liabilities when it comes to preserving it. To stay wealthy, one often needs patience, discipline, and a long-term perspective. It's about ensuring that gains aren't wiped out by poor decisions or unexpected events. In essence, while getting wealthy is about seizing opportunities and capitalizing on them, staying wealthy is more about defense, protecting assets, hedging against uncertainties, and always being prepared for financial downturns. The key takeaway? Achieving wealth is only half the battle. Once you've reached your financial goals, shift your strategy and mindset to focus on preservation and steady growth. After all, true financial success isn't just about the climb, it's also about enjoying the view from the top and ensuring you remain there. Chapter 6. Tails, you win. Be okay with failures because they are inevitable. Life's kind of funny. We spend so much time on everyday choices, but sometimes it's just a few key moments that really change our path, especially when it comes to money and investments. This idea, which we can think of as the big moments theory, is something that many successful people understand well. Let's take a look at Warren Buffett, one of the greatest investors of all time. Throughout his life, he's had a piece of hundreds of different companies. But guess what? Most of his wealth? It came from just a handful of those investments. Yup, out of the 400 to 500 stocks he's owned, only about 10 of them made a big difference to his fortune. This might sound strange at first, but in business and investing, this pattern is pretty common. It's like if you imagined all the possible outcomes on a long, stretched-out line. The far ends of this line, which we can call the tails, are where the super rare and extreme things happen. And even though these extreme events are uncommon, they often end up having the biggest impact. Think of it this way. Most days, the stock market moves a little up or a little down, and things are pretty average. But every once in a while, something big happens. Maybe the market crashes, or a company discovers the next big thing, or people get too excited and start buying up a stock like it's the latest fashion trend. It's on these rare days that the most significant financial moves are made. Now, you might be thinking, okay, so I just need to wait for one of these big moments and then jump in, right? Not so fast. What really sets apart the best investors isn't just recognizing these moments, but also staying cool and making smart choices when everyone else is freaking out. As the author says, a real genius in investing is the person who can stay steady and make average choices even when things are going wild around them. So, what's the takeaway here? While it's good to keep an eye on our money and make thoughtful decisions every day, we should also be prepared for those few, crucial moments that can change everything. And during those times, remember that sometimes the best move is to stay calm, think clearly, and not get swept up in the madness. Because in the world of money, it's often the biggest moments that matter the most. Chapter 7. Freedom. When you hear the word wealth, what pops into your head? For most, it's images of luxury cars, sprawling mansions, and extravagant lifestyles. But if we dig a bit deeper, there's another layer to wealth, one that is arguably more important: freedom. Having money in itself is just one side of the coin. What truly matters is what this money allows you to do. The core essence of wealth, as discussed in this chapter, is the freedom it provides. The freedom to choose, to act on our own terms, and to live our lives the way we want. Consider someone chained to a job they despise, working endless hours, all to maintain a certain lifestyle. Even with a hefty paycheck, are they truly wealthy if their time is not their own? Compare this to someone with modest earnings who has the flexibility to spend time with loved ones, pursue passions, or even take an afternoon nap if they wish. This perspective shifts our understanding of wealth from mere accumulation of money to the autonomy it provides. Financial independence, then, isn't just about having heaps of cash in the bank. It's about breaking free from external pressures and constraints. It's about having enough so you can say no when you want to, and yes when it truly matters. The author emphasizes that the ultimate goal for many isn't a number in a bank account, but the freedom to respond to life's choices on their own terms. This freedom brings along peace of mind, reduces stress, and offers a canvas to paint one's life story as desired. Chapter 8. Man in the Car Paradox. Money does not buy respect. Society often measures success by external markers, the brands we wear, the cars we drive, and the homes we live in. But does possessing these symbols of wealth truly denote success or happiness? This chapter delves into what's termed as the man in the car paradox and challenges our notions of wealth and status. Here's the paradox in a nutshell. You see someone driving a luxury car and think they must be wealthy. But does the driver's expensive car say more about their wealth or your assumptions? To the person inside the car, it feels the same as any other car. They don't get to observe the admiration or envy from the outside. They bought the car perhaps for their own reasons, which could range from genuine appreciation for the vehicle to societal pressures to display success. Yet, it's the onlookers who often attach more meaning to it than perhaps the owner does. The paradox highlights a profound realization. Often, the things people do to appear successful to others don't necessarily make them feel successful or fulfilled. There's a disconnect between how we showcase our wealth and how we feel internally. External validations, like luxury items, are fleeting and can be a never-ending chase. They might impress others, but the momentary thrill they provide can quickly fade. The author urges readers to introspect on their motivations. Are you pursuing something because it genuinely brings you joy or satisfaction, or is it to meet society's expectations or to evoke envy in peers? The paradox serves as a reminder that true wealth and success are personal and shouldn't be solely defined by external markers. Another key point is the transient nature of admiration or envy. The man in the luxury car might be envied at the traffic light, but moments later, he's forgotten as people move on with their lives. Is it worth chasing symbols of wealth that offer such temporary validation? In essence, the man in the car paradox is a reflection on societal values, personal motivations, and the quest for genuine satisfaction. True wealth isn't about impressing others, but finding contentment within oneself. The real question isn't about what others think of your riches, but how you feel about your own life and choices. Chapter 9. Wealth is what you don't see. In a world captivated by ostentatious displays of affluence, it's easy to equate visible extravagance with wealth. Yet, the reality of wealth often lies beneath the surface, in what isn't immediately seen. This chapter delves into the idea that true wealth is not just about the materialistic possessions on display, but rather what's saved, invested, and preserved. Consider two individuals. One drives a high-end sports car and lives in a grandiose mansion, while the other drives a modest car and lives in a comfortable but unassuming home. At face value, the former might be perceived as wealthier. But wealth isn't solely determined by outward appearances. The person living modestly might have substantial savings, investments, and no debt, whereas the other might be drowning in loans. True wealth resides in the unseen, the assets and investments that are working silently behind the scenes. The author emphasizes that spending money is easy, but conserving and growing it requires patience, discipline, and foresight. It's the money we refrain from spending today, investing wisely instead, that constitutes genuine wealth in the future. It's the choice between immediate gratification and long-term growth. Moreover, the culture of flaunting success and material gains, especially in the age of social media, makes it difficult to differentiate between those who are genuinely wealthy and those living beyond their means to maintain a facade. But true wealth is often silent. It doesn't need to be showcased because its power lies in its potential, the potential to provide security, freedom, and a legacy. Another key point is understanding the value of intangibles. Wealth isn't just monetary, it's the freedom to pursue passions, the security of a safety net, and the peace of mind knowing you're prepared for future uncertainties. These aren't things you can showcase, but they are invaluable assets in the journey of life. Chapter 10. Save money. The fundamental principle of accumulating wealth can often be boiled down to a straightforward mantra: save money. While it sounds elementary, the act of saving is both a financial strategy and a mindset that sets the foundation for wealth creation and financial security. In our consumer-driven society, the temptation to spend is everywhere. Advertisements beckon us with the latest gadgets, fashions, and luxuries, suggesting that owning these items will elevate our status or increase our happiness. But the author posits that the true path to financial well-being is not in acquiring more, but in cultivating the habit of saving. To emphasize this, consider the difference between income and wealth. A person might earn a substantial salary, but if their expenses match or exceed their income, they aren't truly wealthy. Wealth is not about how much you earn, but how much you keep. By consistently setting aside a portion of one's earnings, regardless of how much or how little, you lay the foundation for future prosperity. But why is saving so powerful? Firstly, it creates a financial buffer, a safety net for unpredictable events, be it a medical emergency, a job loss, or any unforeseen expense. Having savings ensures that you're not living on the edge, vulnerable to life's uncertainties. Secondly, saving allows for investments. Money saved can be put to work through various investment vehicles, be it stocks, bonds, real estate, or other avenues. Over time, these investments, with the magic of compounding, can grow exponentially, further accelerating the journey to wealth. Moreover, the act of saving instills discipline. It requires one to prioritize long-term goals over short-term desires, to recognize the difference between needs and wants. This discipline, in turn, shapes a mindset resilient to the whims of consumerism and fleeting pleasures. The author encourages readers to view saving not as a sacrifice, but as a gift to their future selves. Every penny saved today is a step toward a more secure, free, and prosperous tomorrow. Chapter 11. Being reasonable over rational. Many people think that the key to mastering finances is to be super logical with every penny. But guess what? Always aiming for the perfect financial decision can tire you out fast. Instead, it's often smarter to be sensible and realistic when it comes to your money matters. Picture this. Life's like a long marathon, not a short sprint. So, if you're trying to run your financial race with a super strict rule book, you might not last till the end. What's more crucial is having a money plan that you can follow without feeling overwhelmed. This way, even when things shake up a bit, like when the stock market goes up and down, you'll stay on track and won't make hasty choices. Here's a simple way to understand it. If you were to invest your money, there's a 68% chance you'd see profits in a year. Fast forward 10 years and the odds go up to 88%. And if you're in it for the long haul, say 20 years, you're pretty much sure to see gains. But here's the catch. During this time, you've got to stay steady and not freak out with every twist and turn. A super logical investor might only look at numbers and charts. But a smart, sensible investor knows that there's more to the story. They understand that we're all human, with feelings and emotions. They realize that investing isn't just about numbers. It's also about the people around you, your buddies at work or family at home, who might influence your choices. So it's essential to remember that while numbers matter, so do relationships and emotions. The best kind of investment or saving strategy is one that fits you. It should let you relax, not lie awake at night worrying. Your plan should aim for steady growth, but also let you enjoy life and have control over your choices. Think of it as a sturdy vehicle that can weather any storm, be it a sudden financial downturn or other unexpected hitches. In school or college, we often learn about the ideal ways to manage money. But real life isn't a textbook. It's messy and unpredictable. So while it's good to know the rules, it's also vital to listen to your heart and consider the human side of money. After all, the best financial plan is one that fits your life, not just your wallet. Chapter 12. Surprise. Life is a series of unexpected moments, and the world of finance isn't immune to that truth. Just when you think you've got a grip on things, a curveball gets thrown your way, reminding you that predictability is more of a wish than a reality. Think about it. Have you ever planned a picnic only to have rain ruin the day? Or anticipated a calm drive and then got stuck in an unforeseen traffic jam? Similarly, financial landscapes can surprise us. Stocks might plummet without warning, or an unexpected opportunity might present itself, demanding quick decisions. History is replete with tales of financial surprises. From the infamous stock market crashes to unpredictable booms in industries, these events have often reshaped the economic world, catching even the experts off guard. But surprises aren't always negative. There's a silver lining to them. They teach us resilience. When faced with unexpected financial challenges, we learn to adapt, pivot, and most importantly, persevere. These are the moments when our financial plans are truly tested, pushing us to make decisions we hadn't prepared for. Being surprised also reminds us of the importance of flexibility. A rigid financial plan that doesn't account for unexpected turns can leave you in a tight spot. Instead, it's wise to build some wiggle room into your strategy. This might mean setting aside an emergency fund, diversifying your investments, or simply adopting a mindset that is prepared for change. Moreover, it's crucial to remember that while we can't predict every twist and turn, we can control our reactions. Panicking or making rash decisions often exacerbates a financial surprise, turning a manageable situation into a significant setback. Chapter 13. Room for error. In any venture, whether it's launching a business or mapping out a personal journey, having a margin of safety, or a room for error, is essential. This concept is even more critical when it comes to finances. In a world dominated by uncertainties, planning for perfection can be the roadmap to disappointment. Instead, it's wiser to build a buffer. Imagine you're on a cross-country road trip. If you plan your fuel stops precisely, a single unexpected detour could leave you stranded miles away from the nearest gas station. However, if you always aim to refill the tank when it's still 1/4 full, you allow room for unforeseen challenges without the risk of being stuck. Financial planning operates on similar principles. Aiming for exact predictions and razor-thin margins might work in a perfect world, but real life is rarely so accommodating. Economic downturns, unforeseen expenses, sudden job losses, life has a myriad of ways to test our financial resilience. Here are some ways to integrate the room for error philosophy into your financial strategy. 1. Always have a stash of funds that can cover 3 to 6 months of your essential expenses. This cushion can be a lifesaver during unexpected crises, like medical emergencies or sudden layoffs. 2. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. By spreading your investments across various assets, you protect yourself from the potential downfall of any single one. Chapter 14. You'll expect your future self to have different goals and desires. Life's funny in how it never stays still. Just like seasons change, we too shift in our thinking, our desires, and our priorities. This dance of transformation doesn't just touch the outfits we wear or the hobbies we pick up. It profoundly influences our financial life as well. In the early stages of adulthood, many of us chase adventures. We want to see the world, try out the latest gadgets, and just enjoy the freedom that comes with youth. But as the years roll by, other dreams catch our eye. A cozy house that feels like home, the gentle chaos of a family, or maybe just a safe nest egg for the golden years of retirement. The goals change, and so must our financial habits. Yet it's not always these major life chapters that redefine our relationship with money. Sometimes it's the small moments, the fleeting experiences. Maybe it's the thrill of a fancy vacation that makes us realize experiences matter more than things. Or it could be a brush with financial troubles that teaches us the importance of saving. Our emotions, shaped by our experiences, often play a bigger role in our financial decisions than we might think. But wait, it's not just about us. The world has a way of surprising us too. With its changing economies, technological whirlwinds, and unexpected global events, it molds our financial choices, often in ways we don't even realize. Who would have thought a few years ago that we'd be paying for coffee with a tap on our watches? This continuous dance of change, both within us and around us, means one thing. Our financial plans can't be set in stone. They need breathing space. It's crucial to review our financial goals regularly, ask for advice when things get confusing, and always be ready to tweak our plans when life decides to throw us a surprise party. Chapter 15. Nothing's free. We often hear that there's no such thing as a free lunch. It's a straightforward phrase, suggesting that in life, everything comes with a price, whether evident or hidden. This notion isn't just applicable to tangible goods. It's deeply rooted in our financial world, too. At first glance, some opportunities or deals might seem too good to pass up. An investment offering an incredibly high return, a credit card with seemingly endless rewards, or a friend pitching a guaranteed business idea. These allurements, often wrapped in shiny promises, can be tempting, especially when labeled risk-free or at no extra cost. However, beneath the surface, there's often a catch. High-return investments can come with equally high risks, not always evident up front. Those credit card rewards, they might lure you into spending more than you should, leading to balances that spiral out of control. And as for that guaranteed business proposal, remember that every enterprise comes with its set of challenges. Even beyond financial products or ventures, there's another layer to the concept of cost. Time, emotions, stress, relationships. These too have their prices. When we dive headfirst into an investment or business, the hours spent can be at the expense of family time, hobbies, or rest. Financial stress can strain personal relationships, turning once joyous moments into battlegrounds of anxiety and frustration. It's essential, then, to look beyond the immediate gains and evaluate the full spectrum of costs, both financial and emotional. Before jumping into that next free opportunity, ask yourself some crucial questions. What's the actual monetary cost, both now and in the future? How might this decision impact your well-being or relationships? Are the potential emotional and time costs worth the potential benefits? By adopting a holistic view of every financial decision, one that weighs both the evident and the hidden costs, we pave the way for smarter choices. It's a path that not only protects our wallets but also safeguards our peace of mind and well-being. Chapter 16. You and Me. Money is not just about individual decisions. Often it's a dance between you and me. When two individuals become partners, friends, or even business associates, money dynamics play a pivotal role. This chapter explores the intricate bond of you and me in the world of finance. When it comes to money matters, every individual has their beliefs, habits, and experiences. But when two people come together, be it in a personal or professional relationship, there's an inevitable merging of these financial philosophies. Navigating this can be challenging, but it also provides an opportunity for growth, understanding, and collaboration. Think about the first time you went on a dinner date. Who paid? Or recall the moment you and your friend thought about starting a business. How did you decide on financial contributions? These interactions, while often overlooked, shape the financial dynamics of our relationships. For couples, money discussions can be intimate and sometimes tricky. Each partner brings their financial baggage, past experiences, expectations, fears, and dreams. It's not just about paying bills or planning vacations. It's about understanding each other's values and priorities. It's about dreaming together, facing financial challenges hand in hand, and celebrating monetary victories as a team. In professional relationships, the you and me dynamic is equally complex. Business partners need to trust each other's financial decisions, ensure fairness in contributions and benefits, and work towards a common financial goal. Even in simple friendships, money can play a role. Think of those times when you've lent money to a friend or debated on splitting a bill. Chapter 17. The Seduction of Pessimism. Life throws curveballs, and the investment world is no different. When things seem shaky, many might be tempted to change course or jump ship altogether. But here's some friendly advice. Stick to your plan, especially when things seem rocky. Imagine you're on a boat and suddenly a storm hits. The waves toss your boat around, making you scared. Would you jump into the water, or would you hold tight, knowing the storm will pass? Investing is a lot like that boat ride. Storms or market drops will come. But if you've made a good plan, trust it and stay aboard. You might wonder, why do people panic when the market drops? A big reason is the stories we hear, especially in the media. News often focuses on bad stuff because it grabs attention. Think about it. A big market drop is like a sudden loud thunderclap. It's hard to ignore. On the other hand, steady growth in the market is like a soft, consistent hum in the background. It's there, but it doesn't always catch our attention. It's not that the media wants to scare us, it's just that negative stories feel more urgent and recent. Positive stories usually need a look back over many years to make sense. For instance, a big market fall in a few months could be big news and might even have politicians talking about it. But if the market rises slowly and steadily over many years, it might not make the headlines, even if the growth is much bigger than the drop. The trick is to remember that investing is a long game. Yes, there will be bad days, months, or even years, but if you look at the big picture, staying optimistic and sticking to your plan often works out. True optimism isn't thinking everything will always be rosy. It's knowing that there will be ups and downs, but in the end, things usually turn out okay. So even when things seem tough, remember to keep your cool, trust your plan, and ride out the storm. Because like all storms, this too shall pass. Chapter 18. When You'll Believe Anything. It's incredible what the human mind can believe, especially when it comes to our hard-earned money. Investing is as much about understanding numbers as it is about understanding ourselves, our beliefs, and our biases. We've all heard tales of seemingly intelligent individuals being duped into unbelievable investment schemes. Why? Often, it's because they want to believe in the promise of easy money or high returns. When an offer sounds too good to be true, it's astonishing how our logical thinking can take a back seat. The need to believe in something can sometimes blind us to glaring warning signs. It's like being in a dimly lit room for so long that even a small glimmer of light seems bright. In the world of investments, this light could be the promise of extraordinary profits or a tip from someone we think we can trust. The desire to get ahead, coupled with a sprinkle of fear of missing out, can push us to make decisions we might later regret. But it's not just about greed or FOMO, it's also about our innate need to make sense of things, especially in a complex domain like finance. Our brains love stories, and when someone weaves a compelling narrative around an investment, it's easy to get caught up in it. The storyline gives us comfort, even if it's based on shaky grounds. To safeguard against this, it's essential to develop a healthy dose of skepticism. Ask questions, dive deep into the details, and most importantly, if something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe for more amazing content. Thanks for being awesome, and we'll see you in the next one. Until then, keep shining.